Hello, my name is Charmaine Vega, also known as Mama Vega. Today we will be doing a demonstration on making Italian meatballs using fresh ground turkey. Take 2 pounds of fresh ground turkey and place it in a medium non-porous dish or pot. Next, add 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, 1 to 2 teaspoons of poultry seasoning, 1½ teaspoons of Italian seasoning, and a pinch of salt and pepper. Using your hands, knead the turkey meat, mix all the seasonings well, then add 1 teaspoon of fennel seasonings, or fennel seeds rather. If you do not have any fennel, you can add a little bit of cumin. Kneading the seasonings in gradually with your hands, using your hands. Cover with a plastic wrap and refrigerate while you're preparing the remaining vegetables to go into the mixture. Peel, cut, and chop 1 onion and make it where it's minced. So you're going to chop it until it's minced. Then you're going to chop a bunch of fresh spinach, and you're going to separate it out from the stems and the leaves. You're going to keep them separate. Then what you'll do is, in a frying pan, you're going to put a little bit of water, about 3/4 of a cup, and you're going to add fresh minced onions plus Italian. You're going to now start simmering the onions with the seasoning in a frying pan. You're going to end up adding a little bit of water. You're going to stir it so that it's all mixed together. While it's still simmering, you're going to keep it simmering while you're stirring that in. Then what you're going to do is you're going to start adding the stems to the spinach. Only the stems. You're not going to add the leaves just yet, just the stems. So that and the reason you're going to add the stems first is because they cook a little bit longer, and you want to make sure that since they're a little bit harder, the seasonings is going to cook into those first, so that it's going to give you a nice robust flavor, as well as it's going to make them more tender for you. While it's simmering, you're going to end up putting a lid on it, and then you're going to end up taking the scissors that you saw before, and these are called herb scissors, where they cut things very finely. You see all the different blades that it has. You're going to add those in, and you're going to make sure you get as much as you can. You don't have to worry about the stems. I always like to add the stems to mine as well. It adds a little bit more texture as well as flavor. You're going to now stir that, and then after you've mixed it in, you're going to end up adding the lid to that, or you're going to cover it so it will simmer. Once it's simmered a little bit, you're going to start adding the spinach leaves, and those cook down rather fast, but you're going to end up mixing them all in, because it's from one bunch, so you have one whole bunch that you're going to add in there. So you kind of make it where everything is going to fit in there, and then you're going to end up adding a lid to it, so that what it will do is it will steam down a little faster, and you'll keep the moisture so that all your seasonings will be able to blend in well, also with the leaves and the stems and your spices that you would have had. You're going to add a little bit of salt to that. I used Celtic sea salt, but if you want to use Himalayan, you can do that. And then you're going to start stirring it, but you're going to try to cook out as much of the water as possible, because you don't want your meat, when you add that to the meat, you don't want it to make your meat watery. Now you're going to take that and you're going to add it to the meat, and you're going to end up mixing it in. And what I do is I mix it in, but I also use my hands to knead it in, because I like to make sure that it gets thoroughly mixed in. And sometimes, because it's a little bit thicker in spots, it won't always mix in if you just used a fork. And this is how it looks once you've mixed it all in. Once you've done this, you're going to now start making your meatballs. You're going to put them in an oven on a baking sheet, and you're going to bake those at 350 for about 10 minutes on one side, maybe 10 on the other, depending on the way your oven bakes. And this is the way they come out. This is how they look at the very. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take some pasta. We would have added a little bit of Italian seasoning to it. It's already been drained. We're going to add some seasonings to that. We're also going to make and add our homemade pasta sauce that we've had. And you're going to take that, stir it all in, and mix it very well. You want to make sure everything is mixed. Remember, my pasta is already seasoned. I have my pasta sauce that I put on. Now we're going to take the pasta that's been seasoned. We're going to put that in a bowl. And you got it. You know what we're going to add to that. Remember, we have our Italian meatballs, or the turkey balls rather, and we're going to top it with the Italian turkey balls. And you can see those came out really good. We put that on top, and then we're going to be able to eat that deliciously. Here's a close-up of what it looks like. We also have another option, and we put them in a hot dog bun, and we top that with parsley and basil. And like Mama Vega always says, now chew on this. Some health benefits that we have. We have fennel seeds that are known to reduce blood pressure. It's water retention, constipation, indigestion. It improves eyesight, acne, and we also like to compare why we use turkey instead of chicken is because turkey has half the fat, twice the protein. And I'd like to also have a disclaimer here, so since I did give a little bit of other things that you may want to look up yourself, but all information, content, and material of this video is for informational purposes only and are not intended to serve as a substitute for consultation, diagnosis, and/or medical treatment of a qualified physician or healthcare provider. So although I've listed the things here, you can look that up and see for yourself and check with your medical provider. Thank you so much for joining me. We look forward to seeing you virtually again next week and at one of our resource centers as soon as we can. Until then, stay active, healthy, and informed. We have our disclaimer here, which is our big disclaimer where it's a very important message for you. And again, all information, content, and material of this video is for informational purposes only and are not intended to serve as a substitute for the consultation, diagnosis, and/or medical treatment of a qualified physician or healthcare provider. The information contained on this video is compiled from a variety of sources and is not considered complete. Information is subject to change without notice. If you have a medical emergency, call your doctor or 911 immediately. And I'd like to also give credit here. All narration, writing was done by Charmaine, Mama Vega, which is me. The Italian chef hat was from Dreamtime, and that is royalty free. The video I did, the spaghetti part of the video was done by Dr. Nicole Brown, which is my daughter. That too is royalty free. And the fennel and the turkey is also the turkey that you saw, the ground turkey that was in there in the very last picture on page 3, which is in the film here. That too is royalty free. And thank you very much once again.